What is up, guys? Double Flash here. I've got some really exciting news for you today. I want to go over what Esports Manager is and the TFT Mobile Release date coming up. So I have this video clipped right here about them talking just a little bit about TFT. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you. If you want to see the whole thing, I'll link the video in the description.
I think they get
This is what's important.
Set 3 is currently slated to go live in mid-March, but we'll let you know if anything changes. That's not all we have planned for March, though. That's also when we're aiming to bring TFT to mobile in most countries.
March.
While we've been busy working on
Mobile
PC, we've also been
TFT.
poring over how to bring TFT from PC to mobile in a way that feels intentionally built for the platform. So you can play lounging on the couch, taking the bus to work, or sitting on the john.
That's where
There's a
I'll be
lot
playing.
coming in the next year for TFT. We're thankful for all the support you've given us so far, and we hope you keep coming back to TFT for years to come.
So, moral of that one, TFT likely to be released on mobile in March. Just so you guys are aware, it's going to be cross-platform with PC, and that alone will be awesome. They haven't released a lot of the details yet, like what they're going to do with friends, how you're going to transition and be able to play with them, message them, stuff like that from the app to PC. But I'm sure that they'll release something like that in the future, and as soon as they do, you know Double Flash has your back. So the question you've all been waiting for, what is Esports Manager? Well, I highlighted some pieces of this article here that explains it really well. I'll go into a little more detail. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be for a certain type of audience, but I really think it'll be a fun one. So right here at the beginning it says Riot Games has opened pre-registration to its Chinese audience for its esports management game, LOL Esports Manager, and revealed additional details about the title. It'll be a gacha game that requires players to invest substantial amounts of time or money to obtain characters. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with a gacha, quote-unquote, game, the definition is here. Gacha games are video games that adapt and virtualize the gacha mechanic. In the monetization of video games, it is similar to loot box, to inducing players to spend money. Most of these games are free-to-play mobile games. So essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to trick you into spending some money on the game in order to get ahead, because if you don't spend money, you're going to have to spend a very substantial amount of time to get anywhere, any sort of progress in the game. So if we scroll down here a little bit, right here it says, the vouchers appear to be premium currency in the game, while the gold coins are going to be used for upgrading players and equipment. Energy drinks imply the existence of an energy system where the players will have to spend the resource to play matches, thus artificially capping progress. Now, I'm sure you guys can relate to that. There's lots of games out there where they give you a certain amount of energy, and if you want to be able to continue playing, you have to use some sort of a boost, something that gives you more energy, or some of those games when you level up, they refresh your energy and add to it, etc., that kind of thing. Down here, if LOL Esports Manager reaches 12 million registered users, players will obtain a mysterious SSR player token. SSR stands for Super Super Rare and is a commonly used quality in various gacha games on the market. In gacha games, characters are usually differentiated by tiers and rarities, and they'll usually be capped in terms of stats and levels. What they're saying here is that they're trying to encourage a high user base to pre-register for the game. That way they know that they're going to make some money off of it, and if they do, they're going to give them some sort of a super rare item that makes them, like the OGs of the game, that kind of thing. These are just kind of some images from the game. They're very small. You probably can't see them too well, but they're basically player cards kind of thing. Legendary players like Lu, MLXG, Shiu will be available, allowing Esports Manager to players to rewrite history. So what this means is basically they're going to be using players from first season League of Legends professional players, people who maybe you started watching and that's what got you into the game, or people that you used to watch when you were first getting into the game to understand the mechanics of it, stuff like that. For me, it was TSM the Odd One. Shout out Jungle. Each match will last about 5 minutes. Players will be in charge of the pick and ban phase with indicators like hero matchups and champion familiarity. Once the match actually gets underway, players can dictate the strategy of their team, including commanding their characters to take actions such as ganking another lane or defending their carries. While you probably can't control your public teammates in League, I wish. You can select your team's strategy in LOL Esports Manager, such as Forward Protect 1, Flanking, or Control. So that means basically, and I actually looked up a little preview of the game earlier. You're going to be able to tell your team what to do. You're going to tell them what play style to follow. You're completely in charge of trying to counter the enemy team, including the picks and bans. You select picks and bans. You select which one of your pro players goes where. And then what they're saying here is like 4 protect 1. Like that would make the 4 players that you have, 4 out of the 5, protect the one that you select. Flanking, control, that kind of thing is pretty explanatory. You can also, it says up here, you can take actions such as ganking another lane or defending their carries, meaning you could like select your jungler to gank a certain lane, maybe have mid go gank bot, that kind of thing. Despite the gacha trappings, the game does seem to have some innovative mechanics that will entice and attract League's massive esport fan base. Some fans will undoubtedly be turned off by the gacha gameplay, but it's not an inherently bad system even for players unwilling to pay a dime. Now, I'm not super into gacha games. I don't like the idea of being limited on the amount of gameplay that I can do. I don't like the idea of feeling forced to pay in order to actually be a valuable player. But this is something I'm going to have to look into. I think the esports scene is popping right now. It's great. I think this is going to be a real fun time, and I'm going to at least try it, and I will be posting some videos of that gameplay as well at some point once it comes to NA. Right now it's just strictly pre-registered in China. They seem to be testing the waters. They do tend to be more of the esports fanatics than we are. But as soon as that thing comes to NA, you can bet your bottom that I'm going to get my hands on it. That's all I got for you today. There's no news on Wild Rift. Again, they're not updating us on anything. I've been checking Twitter pages, Instagrams, Facebook pages constantly, and there's nothing on there. But as soon as a Wild Rift update comes out, I will be the first person to tell you, I promise. So go ahead and hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button. Turn those notifications on if you want to know the latest news when it comes out. And for comment of the day, why don't you comment below if you think Esports Manager is going to be a successful game? Why or why not? Are you going to play it? Anyways, till next time, Flash Fam out.